Hello friends, welcome again. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing fine. So how was the day? How was your work? Hope you had a good day at work. And also at markets. So markets are, actually good. A lot of good small caps have kind of mid cap stocks have kind of gone up. We'll probably look at them today, and we'll take it forward from there. So we just have three people who have joined. So probably give it a minute or two more, and then we can start. Okay. Otherwise, as usual, if you can hear me and see me properly, then just give me a thumbs up, and I think then we can start. Yeah, we already have some questions. I'll take them once we start. Okay, so we have 6 people. So let's get started. So as usual, let's start with Nifty and see what Nifty has done, and then probably we'll go ahead to the other ones. Okay, so again, today was red candle day. So even on Friday, we had a red candle, but TradingView, as always, I don't know why they can't fix this, but sometimes it just shows wrong. But if you see in the bar, we had 2 continuous red days, right? So that's a pause. But also, if you just take a closer look at the hourly charts, or even to low time frame charts, we are kind of retesting that previous breakout zone, right? So we had a breakout here, kind of just right above that zone there, right? So probably, I just see this as a sideways move. There's nothing much happening after it has gone up, and that's actually good. A sideways move is good because it just shows that market is kind of consolidating, and unless there's no drop, markets can kind of correct 2 ways. One is sideways, which is a time correction, and one is proper price correction. So this is a proper price correction plus a time correction, and this is a pure time correction when you just see it's going sideways. Now remember, we spoke about this gap, and we're just hovering around that gap zone and this levels before, right? But yesterday we spoke about one trend line. So that trend line was this one, right? And we said probably short-term sideways movement or consolidation once we break this trend line, and we are hovering around that zone, and we kind of tested around the trend line, and we kind of are going sideways or just correcting. So this might continue for a few more days, and we might then head higher. But for now, the trend still remains up. We've not had a major lower high, lower low. It is just around that zone. So we did try to go high today. Sorry, we opened somewhere here. 27th is here, right? So we kind of opened around with the gap up, right? So we opened with the gap up, and we kind of tried to retest at all-time high, but then there was selling and kind of came down again. Now this is proving to be a good short-term resistance zone. So the plan is very clear, right? You go long above 79.40, which is a very clear resistance. So the moment you have a 5 minutes closing, or you can directly buy or go long once you have once Nifty crosses 940 levels, but probably the stop loss at the swing low, or wait for a 5 minutes closing above this and then go long. But the levels are becoming very clear now, and that is actually good. And these are confident trades that you should be able to take in Nifty, because this is just a sideways correction, and with a clear resistance on the top and a clear resistance at the bottom. On the bottom, we did have a spike below today that could have taken a stop loss if we had gone short here, which I presume many of you would have gone, because this was the candle where we kind of went up and then we kind of came down, right? So you might have gone long here, but then you'd have got stopped out. If this was a stop loss, you would have got stopped out, and then markets kind of went again, came down. So probably this would have been a stop loss hit if you had taken this trade. Otherwise, I think we're just going sideways. So tomorrow's plan is to go long above 79.40 and probably short if you go below 78.20, or if you're a little conservative, go short below 7800, right? So that should be a plan. Also remember, one of the levels that we spoke about is this level, right? So we spoke about this zone here, which is actually a good zone where we can see probably some kind of correction towards the zone also. So there's a gap here. Remember this gap. So we fill this gap, but we not fill this gap yet. So there is still a chance that we might come down towards this zone. So that's why I said once we go below 70,800, then you can go short for targets probably of 570 odd levels or 580 odd levels. Okay, so that's the plan for Nifty. I think the trend is still up. There's nothing to worry. Don't panic. Don't sell off. There are a lot of predictions on Twitter of late that, this is the top. We're going to correct in October, November before Diwali and whatnot. But we always know that, our duty is not to preempt what the market is doing. Our duty is to follow the market trend and to stay invested and try to make much money as much as possible in this rally that we're having. Okay, so now switching to the trade with Trendline Investor portfolio, we finally have another stock which has moved. Anuras has given a good move today, 5% move today. Overall, we have 3%. Craftsman is up 5%. Right? LXCHEM is just going sideways. TATALXSI is kind of going sideways as well. A decent correction today in TATALXSI, and VIP also is going decent. Now, let's look at the charts. We had continuous 3 days of correction. So probably, this is not a sell-off at all. This is just a correction, right? So if you see, it's moving very slow down. So that's a good sign. And just a matter of time before we move higher. But if you see, we are still forming higher high lows even on the early charts, right? So our stop loss, remember, is around 496, right? So we continue to keep a stop loss there. The moment we cross above 583, then probably we'll move our stop loss somewhere the previous swing low. Okay, so nothing happening much in LXCHEM. Remember, don't sell off. This is a very good stock. It has very strong, amazing momentum. We are in the stock since 280 levels. We entered somewhere here and we are still in the stock, right? So we locked in some good gains. So don't, just sell the stock because you feel that, there are many other stocks running. That's not how you do it. Okay, TATALXSI, again, has kind of, it's been correcting since the last 5 days. Not much. The IT index also has kind of cooled off, and you can also see some correction in IT index going forward. We kind of had a doji here, which I don't know what you call it, some gravestone doji or whatever it is, but names do not matter for us. What matters is where is the selling happening, right? So there was a sell-off, strong sell-off which happened here, and we had a weekly candle that was a week close, and we kind of had a wick on the top, and we had a strong sell-off today. But remember, we are close to a trend line, so probably tomorrow we might have a short reversal, but I think this sell-off is a little strong. If you break below this, then probably, if you break below 35296, which is this swing low, then probably we'll have some sideways correction or a strong correction as well. No one knows. But yeah, as always, try to trail your stop loss in your stocks and try to, milk as much as possible. So this is Anuras. So we spoke about this as one of the patterns yesterday, a symmetrical triangle pattern. We spoke about this and we said that, above this we can see some strength. So we had some amazing strength today, around 5% with great volumes. And even Craftsman had great volumes, and we kind of retested probably. And today the sell-off is kind of stalling. Not much sell-off is happening after the sell-off on Friday. Okay, and VIP is also going sideways. Now, what I'm going to do is, you always know that, once we have some good stocks moving, VIP has not moved, and we have some 9,500 rupees here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this, sell off this tomorrow, and equally, invest this 4,000, whatever that is, 4,250. Sorry, around 4,750. We'll remove this from here, and we'll put 4,750 in this and 4,750 in Craftsman. Okay, now the reason is simple. VIP is not moving and this allocation is really small. We have decent allocation here and we have some stocks that are performing. I don't want to sell them off. I'm going to move them here. So we're just having 4 stocks. Remember, the reason why we're doing this is to have some good gains in the stocks which are doing well. And these are some really good stocks which have some really good momentum. We'll continue to hold them and we'll see where they go. Okay, so that's the plan. Tomorrow sell off VIP at whatever price in the morning, probably around 500, and move 4750 here and 4750 here. Now you will not get the entire money tomorrow, right? So we always get 20% will be kept as what do you call it, delivery margins or whatever that is. Yeah, we'll keep 0 blocks 20%. So ignore that, go full in one. So 4750, put it in Anuras, and remaining invest in Craftsman. Next day we can buy the remaining. So that's the plan for tomorrow. The stop loss has not been revised for any of them. The stop losses remain the same. Probably for Anuras, we could do a stop loss revision. We can move it to this candle low, which is around 749, or you can move it even to 740. So I think it was on 730. So we are going to move this to 740. Okay. Now 740 is this low here, right? So which is totally fine. And once we have a bigger move up, then we can try to see if you want to lock in more profits. But for now, that's the plan. Sell off VIP tomorrow and move half the money to Anuras and half the money to Craftsman. Equal allocation, 4 stocks, and hold on to them. Okay. So we have done otherwise decently today, just 0.28%, thanks to Anuras, and we are up 18% in just 2.5 months. So this is probably going to head much higher if the market does well. So that's it from my side. But one thing I wanted to show you is the stocks which are in our scanner today. There are a lot of good stocks which are there today. You can go and look at them. For example, India Glycols has given a very good closing. So this scanner, as you always know, the scanner is a weekly scanner, CCA crossing 100. And if you see, India Glycols has moved up and closed really strong today. It has been consolidating since June. So that's almost 3 months consolidation, and we're kind of closing high. And remember, this is a breakout. This was a breakout here, and we are consolidating right around that all-time high, which is a good sign, right? And we might head higher from here. Then you have, GNFC, you have BSE. BSE has also very good momentum. You might want to look at BSE again. Again, this has come in a scanner. Probably it's inverted head and shoulders, a very short one. Inverted head and shoulders here, right? And probably this is also heading higher. Now remember, these are all very strong stocks. All these stocks which I'm talking about are stocks which have broken out to all-time highs, and they're consolidating around all-time highs. Now you want to focus on them, right? Next is ICIL, also has kind of closed high. This has has closed around here at this point, right? So a lot of stocks are there. Depending on whether you're a positional trader or investor, you need to trail your stop loss. Now, if you were a positional trader, you'd have probably got out, in this stock somewhere even here or somewhere even here. Depends on you. For example, I sold off this around 260 is when I sold it off. But then, if you're an investor, probably you could have waited and you'd have made some decent money, right? So you'd have you should have kept your stop loss here, right, when they had this massive consolidation, and then probably just simply go to weekly charts. Your stop losses have been here, now your stop loss is here, right? But the risk here is you're going to give back that much of profits, right? But the reward here is you're going to get more gains, right? So that's why I always say, try to define what you are. Are you a positional trader? Are you a short-term trader? Are you an investor? You need to be clear on that. If you're an investor, don't go below weekly charts. Always stay on weekly charts. You will get some really big trends, but you have to have patience. Okay, that's the simple difference. But otherwise, scanner is simple. Weekly CCI crossing above number 100, and some other simple filters. They are not really important, trivial filters, and you can go through the filter stocks today, right? So Home First, you see, it has come in a scanner again. Blue Star is again a good one. Fortis is also there, right? So go ahead and check your stocks in your scanner, and then we can look at them. Okay, so let's look at your questions. We have just 18 people today, so yeah, not many. Probably people have started sleeping early, right? So hey Dinesh, hey Tabitha. Monday blues is flat market, yes. Hey Mahesh, hey Prakash. Paisa low digital and NTC. Paisa is good. In fact, it is showing, right? So I'm just going to Paisa. It has broken out to all-time highs. Again, as I always said, if you're an investor, you would have probably held on to this. First your stop loss would have been here, then your stop loss moves here now, right? So you protect some. So it is looking really good, and it is heading higher. So there's nothing to worry here. I think the stock is very strong. It has been going up one way up, right? So it looks good. Paisa low. And then NTC, I'm not sure what stock is NTC. NTC Industries, haven't heard of that. Yeah, that's because of illiquid stock, right? So NTC also looks good. It has broken to all-time high. Here also it looks good. So yeah, stop loss can be 66 odd here. Okay, hey Shankar, hey Naresh, Dinesh. Yes, let's look at Equitas Small Finance Bank. Yes, it looks good. Sorry, let's remove all this. I think I did this for the newsletter, right? It looks fantastic, Dinesh. So it's a very good trendline reversal setup. Now it's a perfect trendline reversal setup, and it's a very good setup. In fact, a very good find, I'd say. So it can probably consolidate for a few more days, but if you want to go enter now, you can enter now with the stop loss even around 58. Okay, you don't have to keep it 55. Even around 58 would do really well. It would work according to me, and it's a perfect trendline reversal setup. And you can just keep a buy stop above 63, or enter now with the stop around 58. Both will work out. It's up to you, but you'll get a good position size now if you enter now. Okay, so good one. It can head higher. Amarjit is asking my view on Philip Carbon. I think these are all good stocks. It's been consolidating for some time. Again, it has had a short inverted head and shoulders here and has moved up. It also looks good. Your stop loss is pretty small, 240 is stop loss. It can go higher, Amarjit. Yes, Malik is asking, I do delivery-based positional swing trade, but I'm anxious about a bear market where most stocks are down and making lower, lower, and lower. What to do? I think if you are anxious about a bear market, which means you don't follow the market, it's that simple, right? So if you have a trailing stop loss concept, then you should not be really anxious. You always should be looking at a risk reward perspective. It doesn't matter if the market, goes down or goes up. There will always be stocks, which are doing well. I don't think you should worry much about whether the market is going to crash or not. If so, we started this back in July, right? So this portfolio started back in July, and if we were worried, we wouldn't have made 18% returns in just 2.5 months. There's no way we'd have made that returns. So I'd say don't try to preempt the markets. Have a trailing stop loss rule, as a simple indicator like a super trend, right? A very simple indicator like a super trend will help you ride very good trends in markets. Now, for example, if you are using super trend, right, so you would have entered here, you'd have probably exited here. Now you're again entering here, and you can ride this trend as much as possible. So let the markets tell you when to get out. Don't try to preempt, and don't get out of the markets just because you think that there's a bear market. Remember, not even Warren Buffett, not even Jim Rogers, or not any of the technical analysts or fundamentalists really can't predict. You just go with the flow, and that probably would help you ride bigger trends. Okay, so that's the only way you can be profitable and get some good gains. Okay, and for indicator, uptrend, downtrend, consolidation, it's very simple. I've already spoken about this, 10, 20, 50 and 200 EMA. Whenever you see, like, I'm just going to go this here. Whenever you see all the three moving averages, right, very close together, or very close, or whenever you see price moving in a contract range, that's when it's consolidating. And whenever there's a gap between the moving averages, that's when you have a clear trend. It's as simple as that. And you never know when a stock, you can't really say, and you can't really predict when a stock is going to go into consolidation. But what you can do is use a simple indicator like MACD, right? So when the MACD is green, you know that there's a strong trend. When it is red, you know that the trend is weak. So there are multiple ways of doing it. It's completely up to you. But in this market, you need to ride long trends. There is ample amount of opportunities to make money, ride decent trends, and try to take advantage of that. Okay, so that's the only way you can do. There's no other way. A lot of people are trying to find the holy grail. There's no holy grail. That's my only take. Okay, Harish is asking my views on Mahindra Automotive Axle. M&M looks good, Harish. It has given a very strong breakout. In fact, the entire auto space has done really well today. And I'm just opening the chart. Right, you see this beautiful wedge, and we've also broken out from this zone, which is an important horizontal zone, right? So someone asked me, I think the very first question was asked by someone. S. Malik also asked, what is more prominent for demand zone, horizontal or trendline support? For me, it is always horizontal. Trendline is just a first entry, but a horizontal breakout is where you take the second entry. So this is a perfect, double bottom. So this is double bottom, probably an Adam. So if you've read Bulwoski, you would know double bottom, Adam. There's Adam, Eve, Adam. There are two. So this is probably an Adam because this is probably an Eve. So you can look at that. You can read about it. And I think, this is also a decent breakout with volumes here. M&M looks fantastic, and entire auto space looks fantastic. So you can go long. I think it's time for sector rotation here. And, IT is losing strength and auto is gaining strength. Okay, Prashant's asking me to use an SSWL. Sorry, you had one more stock, I think, automotive axle. Okay, let's look at that. Automotive, why am I not getting it? Yeah, okay, here. Yeah. So this is probably, I'm not sure. Let's check if it's a trend line reversal. No. Now what I do is, now I go to log charts, and then log charts, you see if there is a trend line reversal. Yes, so this is probably a trend line reversal. Now you see how I did this, right? I first checked on the log charts, and I did not see there was a trend line breakdown. Then I come to the linear charts, and then I see the trend line here. Now here, if you see, we have perfect fifth touch point, and it's reversing now. So it's a good reversal setup. But the only problem here is it has broken this previous support here, and it might face resistance here and then probably take some more time before it breaks out and goes higher. So the setup looks good. You can go ahead and take a position in this with 1170 as top at the current market price. Okay, but probably it might take some more time before it heads higher, because remember there is some short-term resistance here. Okay, but it's a good trendline reversal setup. Okay, SSWL, let's look at that. Yeah, SSWL is consolidating here. I think we spoke about this already, just a matter of time before it moves higher. Now, the momentum is really strong. So momentum, once it starts breaking out, the momentum would really be good here as well. So it looks good as well. Okay, Sheet is asking my view on Tata Motors. Tata Motors also is from the automotive space. It is looking good. It's probably heading towards 360. Once it breaks out 360, then it can head much higher. Remember, the entire auto space is really good. In fact, you haven't noticed that. Go to the index, you would see that, again, we had an inverted head and shoulders breakout here, and we had a gap up, and I think Maruti was crazy today. Maruti went up almost 6%, and yeah, this sector looks good. I think it's going to head to all-time highs and even higher from here. Okay, Oracle Finance, Kumrakuri is asking. Again, a short-term breakdown, I'd say here. So probably it might consolidate for some time before it heads higher. It might, because it has been a one-way move up from 3744, it has gone to 45. So probably some sideways consolidation, but the major support I think should be around 4250 to 4300. At that space, it should probably take support. But for now, the short-term trend is turning down. It's a very short-term inverted head and shoulders breakdown. If you see, it's left head and right shoulder. So yes, it might probably retest 4200, 4300 levels. I'm not sure really. What does 34 in CCA indicator indicate? Google, it indicates a period. It indicates the number of candles that I'm looking at. So in this case, in weekly, I'm looking at 34 candles or 34 weeks of data. Okay. Anirudh, Lux Industry, when to enter? Let's look at it. It's not a time to enter. It's a clear downtrend, right? So there's no reason why you should be entering this now. It's not a time to enter, if that was your question. Okay, it's in a proper downtrend. Just a short-term, probably short-term run, just started going down, so probably it might head towards lower levels. I don't know how low, but you might have to wait and see for signs of reversal. Okay, Equitas can be long-term, Suman, I have no idea. Long-term, no one can predict what can happen in the long term. So keep your stop loss. If you want to be invested, go to weekly charts and keep your stop loss there. Okay, so but I have no idea in long term what can happen in Equitas. Yes, so thanks for letting me know that I'm a good teacher. But what I'd recommend you to do is share this video with your friends, and then probably that will help me to get more subscribers. We've been stagnating around the 1300 mark in YouTube, but let's see where we are headed to. So Binay, on this one, I think we've had a good breakout around 374 levels here, trendline breakout, and also horizontal breakout around 3890 levels. So GNFC has picked up momentum and it can head higher. Trail your stop loss. If you're a short-term trader, you can keep your stop loss even at 380, but if you're an investor, your stop loss should be at 310. Okay. BSC, as I always said, BSC had a inverted head and shoulders breakout, right? It just needs to cross 1270 tomorrow, and then it can pick up even more upsides. Stop loss remains at 1120 for short term, and if you're an investor, your stop loss should be around 1020. Okay. Pratibha asking my views on Quick Heal, Bajaj Hindus and Gujarat Themis. So let's take two stocks. As I always said, let's give others also a chance. We'll take two stocks, and third stock probably we'll look at if you have time. Okay. So Quick Heal, this is also an IT space. It has, I'm not sure why there was a gap down here. Was there a split? Let me know in the comment section, because I have no idea if this was a split or if it was something else, but there is a strong gap down. And once I have a strong gap down like this, I don't really look at, I just sell off the stock and get out, because according to me, if you're a position trader, you should have got out somewhere here or even somewhere here, right? So you should have got out here if you're a positional trader. If you're an investor, then go to the weekly charts, as I always say, and I'm going to remove all of this. Your stop loss would be here around 180 if you're an investor, and probably this is going to take some more time of consolidation before it heads higher, right? But if you're a positional trader, you should have got it already. The trend looks weak. It is facing resistance also here, so it might take some more time before it heads higher. Okay, so you see that's kind of that range where it's consolidating. Okay, Bajaj Hind, I think this is the sugar stock. Again, from a position trader perspective, it is a downtrend, but if you're an investor, you should be holding the stock. You should not have sold it. Probably your stop loss can be around 10, and it's just going sideways. So this is a proper contraction, right? So it's been just going nowhere for the last 5 weeks. It's just probably a few more days and it can head higher. It has also formed a new higher high, and unless it doesn't go below 13 levels, then it's still good. Okay. So Sagar is asking me ICL Sagar, I already gave my view, I think. JNA Axle, ICL definitely can go much higher from here. JNA Axle also can go much higher. Both are really good. So you can continue holding them. If you're a positional trader, keep your stop around 779. But if you're an investor, your stop loss should be around 620. Okay. Hey Masood. Pratibha, if you're new to stock markets, you can't gain profits. It's not that easy. It takes years. Do one thing, join my live session every day for 6 months. Follow what I do, go back, watch my videos again. Next day, take time to read why I'm looking at what, and go through a lot of my videos on my YouTube channel. You'll try to understand, and that's the only way to gain profits. You cannot gain profits if you do not know markets, if you do not understand price action. Because when something starts going down, you will just not have the guts to sell that off. That's the most important thing in markets, to accept losses, and for that you need to really understand markets first and make a strategy, and only then you can make money. So it's a long way ahead. Don't put all your money in a stock which is going down. That's the only suggestion that I give you right now. If a stock is going down, just don't put money into that, because that's the biggest mistake that everyone does if you're new to markets, and I've done that and I've been there. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, hey Suhas, hey Masood, let's look at Godrej Properties. I think it's in fantastic momentum. I had not really expect this one to go this high, but there was this breakout here, and right now is not a good time to add. It's gone up from 1600 to 2200. Right now is not a good time to add. It might come down again, so you might be in losses, right? So, but from a long-term perspective, yes, it is going higher. It's also picked up momentum because of this breakout here. Right, this is middle channel breakout, so probably it's heading to the higher levels of the channel, probably around 4,000 targets, but wait for a small consolidation. It will consolidate at some point. There is no way a stock is going up so fast. You'll have a small consolidation like this somewhere, or like this somewhere. Enter after that consolidation. Do not enter now, but it looks fantastic. Nishant Shende is asking my view on Aravind Limited. I think it's a trendline retest, probably. Let's look at it. Right. So it is a trendline retest. Now again, watch what I'm doing here. I'm first drawing it on the log charts, and here itself I'm finding there's a trendline retest. Now it's a very good setup. It is contracting for the last few weeks. All you need to do is place a buy order above 102, buy order above 102 with a stop around 92, right? But it looks good. It's looking like a cup and handle, and this looks fantastic. If you look at the weekly charts also, if you see it's after this massive candle here, it's just going sideways. So it does look very good. Volumes are picking up, so it might head higher. Shinde, I hope that helps. Suhas is asking me on AB Capital. Let's look at it. I think this is also a good stock. It did give a breakout from here, but it's just going sideways. It's not doing much, right? But I think the sideways consolidation is probably getting over. Now see here at this point, right? So this is the trend line that I'm looking at. So I'm just looking at the first two touch points and this third touch point here, right? So it is a good trend line. It is probably going to break out soon. It just might take a few more days or few more weeks. You just need to give it some more time, and then probably it moves higher. So if you're asking me how would I trade this, I would probably enter this already because it has crossed and made a new higher high, and keep a stop around 106. Okay. You see this breakout here, horizontal. It's made a new higher high here, right? It's crossed this level, and here you can keep your stop loss around 905. Masood, I can't. I told you I won't enter Godrej Properties short term until it does a consolidation. So come back, probably ask the same question after a few more days. If it corrects, then I can tell you. Is it good to pyramid at previous all time because always heavy selling occurs? There should be a process. So my process is to pyramid at whenever crosses all time highs. It makes a fresh high or fresh 52-week high. That's when I pyramid. We've spoken about this multiple times. Just go through and watch one of the videos. You will find it. So my view on ICICI Pru Life. So this also is, so this is very short term, this one. So this also is going sideways. Probably it might probably retest towards levels of 647. If it comes towards 647, then look for what it's doing. But if it goes below 645 odd or 630 odd, you can probably look for an entry if it reverses from these levels. Or if you're a short-term trader, you should probably get out of the stock even right now when it crossed below 690. But yeah, it is another good stock from the insurance space. It's in fact fundamentally a very good stock. It had given a breakout around 530. It did give a nice breakout here, and it's just forming some short-term high, low highs, low. It's just forming higher higher lows since this breakout. So it's still that's intact. So until 644 or 630 is not taken out, this is still a good trend. You can probably hold on to it. How to confirm pullback? If you're doing cash market, you need to probably wait for end of day. So pullbacks are nothing but this. This is a pullback. This is a sideways consolidation. This is a pullback. This is a pullback. So anything so whenever stock moves away from, so this is a 10-20 period. So in case you're a beginner, these are you need to look at. So this is a one-way move up. You see the blue line is a 10-day moving average. This is a 20-day moving average. This is a 50-day moving average, and this is a 200-day moving average. So this is a one-way move up, and this is a pullback. So pullback usually come and stall at around 20-day moving average. Most of the times, and short-term trends would probably, you see every time it comes to a 20-day moving average and it goes reverses. It comes down, goes up. So whenever you see this happening, right, in any time frame, right, you can go to a 15 minutes time frame, and here also you will see that happening, right? So this is, so in 15 minutes time frame, this is a pullback towards 20-day moving average, right? So this is a pullback here. This is a pullback. Now here, this is a breakdown, right? And then this is a pullback towards the 200 moving average. So you can use the moving average to understand pullbacks. But I would say probably, any pullback towards the 20 or 50-day moving average is a strong pullback in the daily charts. So if you see a doji like this, right, or a green candle like this around the 20-day moving average after some series of green candles, that's probably a pullback, and that's a completion of the pullback, right? So that's how you need to check it. Okay. Yes, Krishna, that's a really good point. We engineers, doctors, we all spend so many years to earn money, but people come to markets and they want to make money immediately. That doesn't happen. It's a very continuous process. You need to give it time, and you need to, kind of spend your money, spend some time in the markets, do live trading and see what's happened. So unless you don't do that, nothing is going to happen. You need to probably, spend a lot of time doing that day in, day out. Now I go through thousands of charts in a month, probably hundreds of charts in a month, not thousands, but my experience has come purely from that. Right now, that's a really good point, Krishnani. Thanks for that. And Siddharth, my view on Amaraja, it's again inverted head and shoulders breakout. It's a perfect, amazing breakout. It's moved up really well today, so this is a good time to look at this, and probably it can do well in the next month. It has amazing volumes. The stop loss for this remains at 711 or 710. Okay, that's my view. Shanmu S is asking, Prestige State, can we enter this price in CCI? CCI doesn't matter really. CCI is just a scanner. But yeah, Prestige State is a good time to enter. It's just crossing all-time highs. It's a good time to enter. Your stop loss should be around 390. Okay, so 495 you're entering, 390 is the stop. See how much you can buy, and probably you can enter the stock. But yeah, it's a good stock. It's real estate. Real estate is doing really well. Okay, CCI doesn't really matter, but CCI, if you see right now, it will be crossing 100 because it's crossing the previous all-time high, so it's crossing 100, right? So it's in momentum. Whenever it crosses 100, it does give a decent move. And if you see again, it crossed 100 here, it went all the way up. It came down below, but the previous, so once you enter here, your stop loss usually will not be taken out. Your stop loss is here first, right? So when you enter here, CCI cross 100 here, so your stop loss is here. Then again it crosses this high, right? So there's a breakout here again, right? So there's a breakout here again. So then what you do, you move your stop loss here, right? And then again it goes high, it again moves here, goes here, breaks out, right? So you keep trailing a stop loss. So if you entered here, now you're probably your stop loss is here, right? So that's how you trail and try to ride a big trend, and that's called trend following. Okay, so yeah, last one, let's look at the CNX Pharma. There's a question from Stock Market. I'm not sure what's his name, but it's not a good time to enter pharma. It's probably consolidating. It's just going sideways for some time. So what I do is I'd probably wait for a breakout above this, and then enter. But individually stocks might be good, right? So Auro Pharma and Lupin, let's look at both. Right, so Auro Pharma is not a good time to enter. It is in a clean downtrend. So if you want to enter only above 762. Okay, don't enter below above 762. Only enter above 762. Okay, Lupin. Yeah. So Lupin also, if you want, you can enter above. I'm looking for a higher lows. So some people might enter here, and if you enter here, it's also totally fine. But keep a very strict stop loss 910, and that's a really good entry. But you might take some more time. Now I want this level 9,000 to be taken out, and then probably I'm looking for a good move, a very fast move also. But if you're entering right now, you're going to probably wait for some more days. Your money might be idle and all that. But yeah, Lupin does look good. I spoke about this trend line yesterday. I spoke about why it's a good time probably to enter, but strictly keep a stop loss at 910. Okay, but pharma stocks I'd wait for some more time. Okay, CCA has to be in the daily time frame. Shanmugapriya, I assume. Yeah, CCA has to be in the daily time frame, or sometimes you can do in weekly time frame. Take your time and then do it. Okay, so yeah, last few more questions. Grasim, Prakash, let's look at it. So Grasim has done a trendline retest. So if you see, it has done a trendline retest here, and it is reversing. It is also probably, yes, it is an inverted head and shoulders right on the top. So yes, you're right, Prakash, and it's good. It does look good. It has given a breakout today. It can go much higher from here. Okay, is it right to enter 20 stocks and hold it? Masood, no. IT stocks, I would not look at them right now. I already told you the reason. It is forming a gravestone doji on the top. It's forming downtrend. Now, probably if you want to enter IT stocks, then what you need to do is buy above all-time high again. So, for example, here, right now, Wipro is right around. It's right around the support level. But tomorrow it can reverse. It might not reverse. I don't know. But if I want to enter IT stocks, I'll probably enter only above the highest levels again. Right now, if you look at TCS, also again here, I'd enter only above the all-time highs. I not enter right now at this point because I'm not sure how they would behave. But if you are really an aggressive trader, then probably you can enter today, but keep your stop loss as yesterday's low, which is in this case is 3,800. Okay, but it's a risky trade. It might give you good rewards if that's a fake breakdown in case. So yeah, hey Saurav, nice to have you here. India Glycol, you've added JNFCS. Hey Rohit, I'm really happy that you're enjoying the session after work and that we're at 11:30 in the night. I'm happy. Yes, Arav, I think India Glycol I spoke about in the starting. You can probably check my video again. Both look excellent. I think it is a breakout. Probably not a perfect inverted head and shoulders, but this is probably a nice breakout here, and then we just went sideways for 7, 8, 10 weeks, right? And all these wicks here have nice demand, and I think it's going to blast from here. 765 is the resistance. We just hit around 765, 770 is when we came down today, right? So I think it can do really well going forward. Also, GNFC came in the scanner. We did speak about that. It has broken out here. Amazing volumes, excellent volumes, right? So it's also going high. It has also already broken out the previous highs. So all look good. Rohit, let's keep that as the last stock. West Coast paper. Okay, it's also forming a nice, massive, it's a massive inverted head and shoulders. It's a very complex head and shoulders. You have multiple left shoulders, then you have a massive head, and you have multiple right shoulders. So once it crosses 290, Rohit, then it can probably really do well going forward. Yeah, but it's also a good time to enter now. It could be a low risk setup. 217 can be a stop if you're an investor. Probably 217, 220 can be a stop loss. It has moved up really well, and it can head once it crosses 290, really momentum can pick up. Okay, so I think I have answered all your questions. Anirudh, no one knows why IT stocks are going down. It's pure demand supply. So that's all I know. I don't know the reasons and all. If something goes up, it has to come down as well. Something cannot keep going up forever. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. I really enjoy these sessions every day after my work as well. I hope a lot of you are learning, and if you're learning, do tag me on Twitter, do mention in the video. And if you make some money, also do let me know. I'd be really happy to continue this work because I know a lot of people have learned. It's been more than three and a half months since we started. and it's been going well. And I hope I'll be here for many more months, many more years, teaching you. So do share this video with your friends. Do like this video before you drop out, before you log off. Otherwise, thanks for joining for another session. See you tomorrow again. And as I always say, trade safe, keep risk in control, and markets will reward you. We've seen it live in our portfolio. We have 18% in just 2.5 months, and that's simple techniques, nothing complicated here. All you need is the guts to take losses and the guts to take the trades. That's all. Okay, nothing else. And you learn this over a bit of time. It just takes some time, and you need to be there. You need to give it time, like how you've done your college education or your engineering or your doctor, whatever. Okay, so I'll stop here. Thank you for joining again. Have a good evening, and see you tomorrow again. Thank you. Bye bye.